Hey everyone, ready to dive in. This time, we're ditching the guesswork and getting granular with web analytics.
Yeah, no more crystal balls, just pure data.
Love that. And to guide us, we've got our expert who can spot a trend in a data set faster than, well, faster than anyone.
It's true. Web analytics can be like, it's like having X-ray vision, right into your user's behavior.
Okay, I like that. So it's like those mystery shoppers, remember? Like in that example from chapter 20 with the fashion store, they're trying to figure out why those jeans aren't selling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now imagine, like, instead of guessing, you have a record of, like, every shopper's movement, what they touched, what they didn't. We can actually see that online.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of information. So then how do we even begin to make sense of it all?
Google Analytics. It's like
Yeah.
your website's own detective, logging every click, every scroll.
Mm.
And now it's even more powerful with GA4.
GA4, I'll be honest, it sounded a little intimidating at first. What's the big change?
It's a total upgrade. See, GA4, it's not just about page views anymore. It's about events and parameters.
Mm.
GA4 gives you a much clearer picture of what users are doing. Like, let's say you have a blog, right? Instead of just saying, oh, this many people landed on the article, GA4 can track, like, did they scroll down? Did they click a link?
So it's about how they're actually engaging, not just visiting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And no more monthly hit limits. Those are gone. GA4 is all about event limits. Way more generous. Plus, free BigQuery.
Free. That's a game changer. But setting it up, that still sounds kind of tough.
Honestly, it's not as bad as it sounds. Google has great instructions and tons of resources. It's an investment worth making. Trust me. Once it's running, it's like boom. Instant insights. Always there.
Okay, sold. But we've got the data. Now what? We've tracked it. We've collected it. Time to analyze.
Absolutely. But just like a detective, we need a plan, right?
So-
Chapter 20 calls it TAO. It's track, analyze, optimize.
Love a good acronym. So TAO, how do we actually use it?
It starts with understanding user behavior. Why are people doing what they're doing on your site? There's this analytics guru, Avinash Kaushik. He says we need to analyze their behavior, figure out their intent, check those outcome metrics, and really get the user experience. We need all three.
So it's not just what they do, it's the why behind it.
Exactly. And figuring out that why, that's where it gets really interesting. Let's say you notice people are clicking on an image, right? A ton of clicks. But is it because they think it's a button? Or is it something else? Those clicks, they're like clues.
I love that. We're like, what is it, website detectives?
Precisely. And once we get the why, we look at the outcomes. Are people doing what we want? Signing up for that newsletter?
Yes.
Buying that thing? Those are the actions that matter.
And that leads us to those conversion funnels.
Sure.
Chapter 20 had that example with the hotel bookings.
Yes. Imagine, someone goes to the hotel website, right?
Yeah.
Check dates, compare prices, browse rooms, maybe even look at the pool. And then right before booking, bam, they leave. What
Yeah.
happened? That's what funnel analysis tells us.
Yeah, like they chickened out at the last second. I've done that.
Yeah.
Online shopping cart full, then nope, close the tab.
Exactly. Life happens. Or maybe something on the website made them hesitate. Funnel analysis, it shows us those leaks, those places in the journey where people bail. We can see where they're dropping off and then, figure out why.
Okay, so breaking down this hotel example, they search, they check prices, pick their hotel, the room, then boom, booking.
Right. And at each step, we're watching for those drop-offs. Are there just too many room choices? Booking form too long? Is the button, like, hidden? Finding those friction points, that's how we smooth things out, make it easier for users to do what we want, actually book the room.
So we're like digital plumbers, fixing those leaky pipes, making sure the bookings flow through.
I like that. And like a plumber needs their tools, we need ours. Because let's face it, just staring at spreadsheets all day, that's
Yeah, not exactly inspiring.
exactly. So that's where we get visual. Data visualization. It's not just making things pretty. It's about turning those numbers into a story, right? Finding those patterns, those aha moments so we can actually use them.
Chapter 20 talked about going way beyond like your basic charts. What are some examples that get you going?
Oh, so many cool things now. Heat maps showing you exactly where people click on a page. Word clouds, pulling out the big themes from customer reviews.
Word clouds, I love those. It's like data poetry.
Right. And then there's the interactive stuff where you can really explore, drill down, find those hidden connections. It's like having a conversation with your data.
Okay, this is sounding less like spreadsheets, more like actual creativity, which I love. But even with all that, it still comes down to we got to understand what the data's saying, right?
Absolutely. The visuals help us grasp it. But the real magic It's connecting those insights to our goals. Whether it's a tiny tweak or a total redesign, it's about using data to create better experiences for our users and, for our bottom line.
So we've gone from tracking every little thing to like actually visualizing the story those numbers tell. What's the one thing you really want people to take away from all this?
People think web analytics, it's just numbers, right?
Yeah.
But it's really about understanding those actual humans on the other side of the screen, what they need, what makes them tick, even what frustrates them. And then we can use that to build something great.
It's like data-driven empathy.
Which is kind of cool. Speaking of cool, that Netflix case study at the end of chapter 20 blew my mind. The recommendations are so good, they're making bank, like serious bank. Yeah, that's the power of like really getting personal. Netflix, they analyze everything, what you watch, when, even if you're pausing a lot, rewinding, all that goes into those suggestions. No wonder we're all hooked.
It's scary how well they know us. Makes you think, right? How can our listeners use that kind of thing? Personalizing experiences, keeping people coming back for more, something to ponder. And hey, if you're ready to really go deep, check out the further reading in Chapter 20. Until next time, happy analyzing.